What's up and welcome to the Sixers break room. We're going to be doing a different kind of breakdown right now. You guys know me. I've been doing film breakdowns from teams around the league, the Mavericks, the Suns, my Sixers, the Celtics, etc., the Nets. I'm going to be doing a breakdown of the MVP award, the MVP debate. I might post another video where I break down film of each of these candidates, but I wanted to break down the MVP award itself. But before I do that, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, man. You guys have been showing me mad love. The channel has been growing at an insane rapid pace. I mean, it's been less than a month. We're almost at 1,000 subs already. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Help me get to that 1K, get monetized, all that good stuff. Now let's talk about the MVP award. This video really came about from me having a debate with one of my best friends since the 3rd or 4th grade. And we were arguing over Jokic and Embiid and Giannis, because those are the three favorites, right? Those are the three guys who are expected, one of those three, to win the MVP award. And he was telling me how he feels like, Jokic is without question the MVP. And I was saying that I think Joel Embiid should win the MVP, but if not Embiid, Giannis. I was pretty much saying either of those guys other than Jokic should win the MVP award. Now, if you take a look at the numbers, let's just look at the numbers from these guys. Joel Embiid is leading the league in scoring at 30 points a game. He's getting about 12 rebounds, 4 assists. You take a look at Jokic. Jokic is getting 27 points a game, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists a game. And then you go over to Giannis, who's third in the league in scoring at just under 30 a game, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. Now, I think everybody looks at the numbers, and one of the things that would jump out is the fact that Jokic is getting 27, 14, and 8. And that's absurd. Like, those are absolutely ridiculous numbers. But when you dive into what these guys do, it kind of makes sense that he would have 8 assists and somebody like Giannis or Joel Embiid wouldn't. Jokic is the facilitator. He is the play initiator. He's the big, but the offense runs through Jokic. Because of that, Jokic is going to get more assists naturally. He's essentially the point guard in their offense. If you want to see a breakdown of the Denver Nuggets and what that means, like when I say he's the point guard even though he's the center, let me know in the comment section below. But, he's going to get those assists. Now, I'm not discrediting him for that. It's super impressive still, but of course he's going to have more assists than Joel Embiid. Just like Joel Embiid and Giannis are asked to score more, right? While Jokic is a play initiator, Embiid and Giannis are like the scoring threats, the scoring options for their teams. So naturally they score more than Jokic does, right? They all play a different role. They all do a little bit something differently. I think what makes Embiid so incredible is a couple of things. Like the case for Joel Embiid, I think, is this. He kept that team together. Like their second best player decided to quit on them. Ben Simmons decided he wasn't going to play anymore. And the team could have fell apart. They put Tyrese Maxey in the point guard role, a second-year player who was solid last year as a rookie, but nothing special. For the past 6 to 8 weeks, all I've been hearing is how bad of a coach Doc Rivers is and how bad the bench is. Every time Joel Embiid comes out of a game, they blow the lead and Joel Embiid has to work to help him get it back. So he's leading the league in scoring as a center, which hasn't happened in I don't even know how long. He gets doubled just about more than anybody in the NBA and is still leading the league in scoring. And I just saw a stat today that he's going to have the lowest minutes per game average ever for a 30-point scorer. And they're going to be a 50-win team in the East. If you go over to Jokic, the argument is he does everything for them. He leads the team in scoring, rebounding. He's the point guard, right? He facilitates. He gets everybody involved. There's a whole lot of advanced analytics that I'm not going to get into for a couple reasons. One, I feel like they just be making up advanced analytics nowadays. Like all these acronyms I see, I don't even know what half of them mean. There's a place in the game for analytics, 1000%. I believe, I'm a math teacher. I believe in numbers, but I think some of them kind of get stretched. It's basketball, it's hoops. Let's not overthink it too much, right? But he does everything for this team, and they don't have their second best player in Jamal Murray or their third best player, Michael Porter Jr., right? They've been having a ton of injuries. Without Jokic, this team is probably in the lottery. With Jokic, they're a 6th seed out west, right? That's the argument for Jokic. And then you come over to Giannis, and the argument for Giannis is he's top 3 in the league in scoring, arguably the best defensive player in the league. So he's the best two-way player in the NBA. His team is potentially going to be the 2 seed. His team is winning. He's the best player on a winning team. He's the best defensive player on a winning team. He's the best guy on both ends of the floor right now. He's the best player in the league. I don't think there's any debate. Giannis is the best player in the league. And you really don't need a much stronger argument than that. When you're the best player in the league on a winning team and you do what he does on a nightly basis, getting 30 and 12, and you're the best defensive player in the league, arguably, you're an MVP candidate. This is why I have an issue with the MVP award. Anybody who knows me knows I've been saying this for like a decade now. I've been saying this for like 10 plus years. The problem with the MVP award is that Jokic is the most valuable player in the NBA. I believe that Jokic is the most valuable player in the NBA. And isn't that the name of the award? Most valuable player? The issue is that's not who the award is given to. The award is almost, it's rarely strictly the most valuable player. What it typically is the best player on the best team or the best player on one of the 2 or 3 best teams. And Jokic is the 6th seed, right? And that's why I think that he is not going to win the MVP award. It's not whether I think he should or shouldn't, but you cannot be a 6th seed and win the MVP award as the award is constituted. Again, look at the past MVP award winners. It was guys who played exceptionally well on a team that performed exceptionally well. That's what it's really a player of the year award. And that's ultimately what I'm getting to right now. I've been saying for 10 years, at least, there should just be 2 separate awards in the NBA. Have an MVP award, which actually goes to the most valuable player, and then have a player of the year award, which is pretty much what it is now. Just break it apart. Break it apart, because if you had a player of the year award, I don't think there would be much debate that this year, Joel Embiid is the player of the year, right? He's not necessarily the best. Like, I think Giannis is the best player in the NBA. But when you look at the way Joel Embiid has performed consistently throughout the year, when they didn't have their second best player out and just decided he wasn't going to play, and then you had all the media and the scrutiny and the question every single day throughout that whole debacle, throughout that whole Ben Simmons saga that he had to deal with, didn't throw anybody under the bus, went out there every night and got 30 plus, and just took care of business and kept the team afloat, right? And then, yeah, they got James Harden now, but they've only had James Harden for about 18 games. Like, this team was a top 3 team in the East when their second best player, one could argue, was Tyrese Maxey, a guy who last year nobody knew about. I think Tobias Harris is legit. I think he's the most important player to the Sixers winning a championship this year. If you want to know why, just watch that whole video. But that's not what everybody else was saying. Nobody was talking about Tobias Harris. So Joel Embiid was getting it done as a top 3 team in the East, 30 points a game, with Tyrese Maxey as his second best player. Giannis, as good as he is, best player in the NBA, he's got Chris Middleton, who's a legit all-star. They got Drew Holiday, who's a first-team defensive player in the NBA. They're coming off of a finals championship. Like, that team is legit. Giannis is the best player on the team, but that team's legit. Embiid is coming off a team that was super disappointing last year in the playoffs, lost their second best player, has no bench scoring to be found, and still doing what he does and having that team win. So I think Joel Embiid is the player of the year. Is he more valuable? I don't think that he's more valuable than Jokic. Again, I was just talking to my boy Franz. We were going back and forth for the past half hour. You take Giannis off of the Bucks, they're probably not a championship team. The Sixers, with Embiid, they're a dark horse to go to the finals and potentially win a championship if everything falls into place. Without Embiid, they're losing in the playoffs. With Jokic, they're not a title contender. Nobody thinks the Nuggets are going to win a championship. They're not. But you take him off the team and they're a lottery team. That's the biggest fall off, right? That's the biggest drop off when you play the game of remove that guy and what happens. Giannis's team goes from title contenders to second round exit. The Sixers go from potential title contenders to first round exit. Jokic goes from second round exit to not even sniffing the playoffs. That's most valuable. Jokic should be the most valuable player, but I don't think he should win the MVP award, and it's not his fault. It's just what the award is and isn't. What's crazy is he's going to win it because these guys love their analytics, and the analytics say that Jokic is so good. But in my opinion, in my humble opinion, Joel Embiid, based on what the MVP award is, which goes to the guy who's been the player of the year on a team that has had success and is a title contender, Joel Embiid should win the MVP award. If Jokic wins the MVP award, it would probably be the first time in NBA history that the MVP award winner was on a team that had no shot at winning an NBA title. I don't care that they're in the playoffs. Let's be real. they're not winning an NBA title. They are not one of the 3 or 4 best teams out west, let alone coming out of the West. It would be the first time, I think, in the history of the NBA, and I would have to go back and check, that your MVP award winner was not on a title contender, and that's just not what the award is. And I really hope for the sake of the award, it's not given to him because of that. I think Embiid should win it. If not Embiid, Giannis. But again, split it up, have an MVP award, have a Player of the Year award, and then you don't have this issue. That's just how I feel. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think that the MVP award is a problem the way it is? Or do you think it's completely fine the way it is? You think I'm just tripping and maybe I'm just being a little biased because I want Joel Embiid to win the award? Sound off in the comment section below. Also, let me know, who do you think is going to win the MVP award? Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, somebody else? Let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys on the next one. This is the Sixers Break Room. Peace.